Hello and welcome to our presentation on the concept of communication and business communication. My name is Bakari Fatia and today I'm here with my group members.
Communication is the actionable transfer of information from one group person through a medium to another group or a person. Every communication has a sender, a receiver, and a message that the sender is passing to the receiver. The transmission of a message from one person to another can often be at risk, so the recipient and the sender must always make sure that the location is important. The medium in which they transfer the information is important so that they can convey the right emotions or tones that they want to convey to each other. For example, Bruno wants to see if he can visit his friend James over the weekend, but needs to know if he's available. So Bruno will call James through a phone. Now James' phone was not going through and James did not pick up Bruno's call. So Bruno decides to leave a text message. A couple of minutes later, James apologizes to Bruno through a call, saying he missed his earlier call but has seen his text message. The two of them now agreed to meet up later. In this situation, Bruno and James were able to communicate with each other through different mediums. This allowed them to set a date for each other over the weekend.
Business communication can be defined as the process of sharing information, perceptions, and ideas between people within and outside an organization in order to achieve a particular goal. Effective communication is an essential component of business success as it helps to build and maintain relationships, promote teamwork, enhance productivity, and increase profitability. Some common components of business communication include clarity. Messages should be clear, concise, and easy to understand. Audience focus. Communication should be targeted to a specific audience. The tone should be professional, polite, and cautious. And finally, feedback should be encouraged in order to ensure effective communication.
When talking about business communication, it is very important to talk about the 7 C's of communication. What are the 7 C's of communication? The 7 C's of communication are the business concepts that ensures effective communication. Now, the 7 C's includes clarity. Clarity is making sure that the message is clear and easy to understand. Conciseness. Conciseness is making sure that the message is brief and on to point. Completeness. Completeness is making sure that the message is comprehensive and it entails all the necessary information. Correctness. Correctness is making sure that your message is accurate and error-free. Courtesy. Courtesy is making sure that the sender is polite and respectful when communicating. Consideration. Consideration is putting the audience perspective into account. Concreteness is providing specific information and example to support the communication. By these 7 C's of communication, the business will be able to provide messages that are clear, complete, and well received.
Components of communication. 1. Sender. Sender initiates the communication process. For a successful communication, the sender must take into consideration the message, who will receive it, and what the message should accomplish. Second is the receiver. The receiver is the recipient of the message. The receiver is the one who receives the message from the sender. It could be one person or more than one person. In a business setting, it could be a subordinate, the group, customer, or suppliers. 3. Context. Every communication must have a context which help to shape the business. A business context includes urgency, timing, company culture, or the settings in which the message should be received. 4. Message. The message contains the actual information a sender needs to supply to the receiver. 5. The medium. This is the means through which a sender transmits information or messages to the receiver. In a business setting, we have oral or written means. It could be written in the sense of email, faxes, reports, or memos. Last but not the least, feedback. Feedback is the response from the receiver to the sender. It shows that the message or the information has been well passed across to the receiver and it has been well interpreted and understood.
Communication model is a theoretical framework that describes the communication between two or more individuals. Now we have the linear model, which is also known as the one-way direction model. It describes the communication model as a one-way direction because it does not come with a feedback. The sender only sends the information without feedback and there is no interaction. We also have the interactive model, which is a two-way direction model. This communication is sent through the sender, through the medium of communication, to the receiver. But the receiver has to wait for the communication to be complete before he or she responds to the information. And we also have the transactional model by Addison Wesley. It's described communication as a multi-way because both the sender and the receiver can exchange information simultaneously without waiting for each other.
The way you communicate with others and place your ideas to them creates a long-lasting impression on them. Communication is important in all the facets of human life, and on a more personal level, I would like to ask if you can do without communication. But yes, it's not possible for us to do without communication because communication is an act in which we engage in every day, and I'm sure we all can agree to that. Communication in a workplace helps to boost employees' morale, their satisfaction, and their work done. Also, we can use communication to pass information through magazines, telephone, radio sets, print and non-print, e-zines, and newspapers. Also, a good communication system helps to pass information to others, and it also helps to pass laws and regulations in which we abide in. Good communication prevents wars, misunderstanding, helps us meet our needs, establishes rules and laws that aid in the structure of the society. It helps people find and keep employment, provides information and guidance to people, and passes down cultural tradition, norms, and values.
The differences between business communication and general communication. Business communication differs in aspect of context from general communication, whereby the business communication is used in a professional setting such as workplace, and the general communication is used among family and friends. Also, it also differs in the aspect of the audience. Business communication tends to be used when targeting a specific audience, just such like the customer client, trying to convince them about a business proposal. While in the general communication, it is used to express emotion. In the aspect of audience, business communication is targeted to a specific target audience, such as the clients and the customers, convincing them about a business proposal. And the general communication, it is different from business communication in the aspect of dealing with family and friends. And let us talk about the purposes of in the aspect of purposes. Business communication differs from general communication in the area of business communication being specific in trying to convince the client and customer about a business proposal, while general emotion is also for emotional expression and informal messages. In the aspect of languages, business communication deals with specific formats in talking about anything about the organization.
Communication plays a vital role in all specialized disciplines, including medicine, law, education, and many more. There are some ways in which education has been able to help this specialized discipline in achieving their goals and objectives. First, for education, communication is essential in education for pupils or students to be able to understand what is being taught in class. The lecturers have to be able to communicate to the students for them to have the motivation to be able to learn. Medicine, communication is essential in this field of practice because without communication, patients won't be able to understand their medical conditions, the treatments, and other things they need, either if the case is mild or severe. In the legal profession, which is law, communication is very essential because the judge has to be able to communicate well with the lawyers, and the lawyers have to be able to communicate well with the parties.
Communication has allowed us to communicate with one another, resolve conflicts, build trust, and it is vital to how the world works today. Thank you.